Welcome to the Liars Club. This is where we take our guests, we tell them to give us the truth, give us a lie, we figure out which is which. I'm Jessica Wellington.
I'm Felicia Michaels.
And you're about to get lied to.
We have an embarrassment of riches as far as our guest today. Give it up for Sam Tripoli, everybody.
Hello.
Can you believe that?
Hello,
Sam
everybody
Tripoli.
listening.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and I have over here this gentleman. Luckily, he says all his credits on stage, so I know. He's been on The Hangover. He's done crowd work for At Midnight, and I didn't know you did it for Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
He made Chelsea.
Can I say something about, people, oh, he's all about credits. I personally, the only reason why I do that is because people react.
Yeah.
I never tell anybody anything in my real life. I don't walk into Starbucks and go, yes, I'm Brody. I'm in The Hangover. I do it because that's how people are. This is show business.
Yeah.
They're drawn to that. Everything is, what are you in? What do you got?
You're
so I do it,
veteran.
and then I'm not saying I get accused, but it's like
Never.
But a lot of people always go, he'll tell you the credits because audiences are freaking sheep.
Yeah.
That's why. I don't tell anybody my business,
Yeah.
but I go on stage and I got to deal with freaking dopes. That's the way it is.
I
So
get that.
I was in The Hangover. Oh, really? Tell me more. Why? I'm the same guy. I still eat at Subway. That's what annoys me.
Brody Stevens, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Dude, I do that too because people always give me shit because I'm always like, oh, nobody's with me on that one. Like I've done it so long, I know how to get the crowd to have a certain reaction. And some people think I'm a crazy person, but I've been doing it so long, I know how to get a reaction.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's with? And then I start screaming at the crowd, but I know how to get people to get it going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you put it on a poster. They go from this, from that, from this, from that. So now I know who he is. Okay, I know who she is. Now know what I'm getting into. You get on stage, they don't know, and they go, "I'm a weirdo. I'm at the Comedy Store every week. They haven't kicked me out of here. I've done 3,000 warm-ups." But so I always feel like audiences are just like sheep. I mean, I'm not saying they're dumb.
I don't think that.
I'm not saying they're dumb.
I love that.
Wait, but
I have 5 fans. I got to keep all of them.
I'm not ripping audiences. I'm just saying they're gullible. They could be molded
Yes.
in a certain way. And that's what I'm getting at.
Well, I
Is that
don't,
wrong to say?
Well, I don't think it's wrong to say. I wouldn't
Maybe I
look
don't
at
know
it
that.
like that as they're gullible or sheep, but I would look at it
That's
as, this is who I am. Please enjoy me. I'm not fucking around. I'm a professional. Here you go. That's how I.
Brody, you're unique.
But that's what I do. You do
Yes,
your stuff,
yes, exactly.
and then they go, and then then they find out. Oh, he did this, he did that, they did that. Then they start treating you a little bit different. Is what I'm saying. Like you're treating me different now that you know. Now I'm funny because you know that I'm in The Hangover. That's on you.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. Let me ask you this, Sam. Like recently, you've been writing a bunch of stuff on Twitter. Do you love antagonizing your Twitter followers and getting them riled up?
You know what, man? When everybody zigs, I like to zag. There's not a lot of money in zagging, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and I think it's very necessary. I think it's very important to call out bullshit when you see it, and especially when friends of mine get just the horde comes after them, this fucking herd of angry people looking for tweets, retweets, book deals. And so they just try to put heads on stakes. I like to jump in there and start swinging on people Steve Ranzizi, Leslie Jones, Melissa Villasenor, Chris Hardwick. I'm dead. I'm dead on the inside. I got nothing to lose. So I like to get in there and just start fucking throwing haymakers.
Have you ever put anything on Twitter where it instigated so much of a reaction that you quietly deleted it?
I was going to delete this tweet that's gotten the most likes and retweets that I just put out. I did put out. Luis J. Gomez put out a tweet calling me a two-faced asshole.
Why
it
did
was
he
a
do
joke.
that?
It was
Okay.
a joke. But he says that Twitter took it down for that, and I don't know why because I never complained. So I have this real problem with how people look at Louis C.K. and how they look at Chris Brown and how these beta white cucks love to go after Louis C.K., but you'll never hear them calling out Chris Brown ever. And their fear of being called a racist is so fucking scary that they'd rather just let a wife beater sell out fucking arenas, So I go, it's really crazy that you're all going after Louis C.K. for one set and fucking midnight, and you have no problem with fucking Chris Brown selling out 30. I mean, dude, you go through the timeline. That guy is always getting in trouble, pulling guns on, hitting women.
Right.
Nobody says anything.
I respect people more if they're just like, hey, I know he fucked up. I don't like what he did, but I like his music or his comedy or whatever.
I just
I'd respect
believe
you
in
more
redemption.
for doing that than being a hypocrite and one versus the other. Like, not.
Well,
Dude, the whole political correctness thing is hypocrisy.
yeah, it's out of control. And by the way, what I thought was very interesting yesterday, reading everyone's Twitter feed, because comics, we all have a fucking opinion. Comics are going to comic. And I thought everybody had valid points. I thought Michael Ian Black, I'm not mad at him, you know, and I'm not mad at also the women who are saying, no, this needs to be more punishment, because it's just like chasing your tail in a circle because there is no answer. Right. In this particular case, what is the fucking answer? You know, are we going to not have him in comedy for the rest of his life? What is that? Doesn't seem
But
right
that's the way it
either.
is. Enjoy
Right,
it. That's
yeah.
I didn't
They
sign up
pick
for it,
and
so
choose.
have fun with it.
Here's the problem with all this Me Too, and Me Too, there's some valid, super valid.
Absolutely,
I'll be
yes,
honestly,
yeah.
it's like the notion that as a woman that, you know, you got to get consistently like sexually harassed is awful. Now, there are people who hijack that movement for opportunity. This Asia Aguero, whatever her
that happens
name
with
is.
everything.
But that happens with everything.
That's
yeah.
100%. The Me Too movement comes from this moment of grab her by the pussy, right? This video comes out, Trump saying grab her by the pussy. But what people didn't realize at that moment is the guy putting out the video is Matt Lawler, who has a rape desk, you know, who has a desk that he hits a button and the door closes. So that's my point.
Yes,
it's like
yes,
as we go after people,
Right.
it always comes back around for us.
Right.
And that's why you don't see the Me Too's that much, because all of a sudden, like, all their heroes are getting knocked off. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's my problem.
Don't forget Time's Up. That's the other one.
Well, here's
What
the
is
thing.
Time's Up?
You guys already forgot. You're in the cages too. It's like I sit back. I don't say anything. Sam's on point. Sam is right about everything he's saying, and I'm proud of his tweets.
Can I get that?
And
Can I get that isolated? I want
he's
that to be
pushing
my
it.
fucking ringtone.
You needed
That
that,
will be my
today,
new
right?
ringtone.
Yeah, that's the way I feel, and I agree with a lot of the
Well,
tweets.
I
and-
absolutely agree with you. It is too much outrage culture. When I read the thing that you compared the Louis C.K. thing with the Chris Brown thing, I thought, amen, brother. That's absolutely correct. People are too outraged at everything. But on the other hand, I'm going to be completely fucking honest. My ex-husband used to be Louis' manager. And at the same time at the same time that all came out about Louis, I had an experience at a club where a headliner went to bear hug me and fucking fingered me in front of the wait staff.
Whoa.
That's how
Yes.
rampant sexual harassment
that's
and
not cool.
inappropriate shit. And I'm an awkwardly aged woman. I'm not Kate Quigley by any means, you know. But that's how bad the sexual harassment thing. And it's not just comedy. It's out there everywhere. So I get what you're saying, but I think what it is women, just like being in a relationship, we want you to be able to voice your opinion, but we want you to say, I know you guys are right. You know, we're sorry this happened to you.
Right.
But we kind of feel a little differently about that. I just think
I get it, man.
that people don't address it and talk about it in the correct way, and that pisses all
There's
of us
a girl
off.
here that every time I see her, she six-packs me. She, like, shoves her fingers in my crotch area.
Really?
Jessica.
Wow, I'm sorry. I'm saying you're going to tell everybody now. No.
I get nervous that we are going to create a world where only liars succeed.
Yes,
where people who
agreed.
lie about who they are to everybody, and then the truth comes out and they go down in flames, but they've gotten that far, they've made their money and everything. And then the people who are really honest on stage, I used to like to know who the racists were, who the sexists were. But when they were more free to talk about everything, we knew who the fuck they were. We don't know that anymore.
That's
Fair
very
enough.
valid point.
Now
Fair
it's
enough.
like it's going to become politics where these fucking liars only succeed. And anybody with an ounce of honesty gets fucking shredded, dude. And it's like, I would rather be 100% honest and have a little success than be a lying sack of shit. And I see it over and over again. a lying sack of shits that fucking get it because they fucking play to this game. And it's just like, dude, comedy is how much money can you make off your mental illness, man? And you know what, dude? It's the crazier you are, the better you are. And that's just the truth. And we're trying to make it so these fucking, that really great, crazy people aren't going to be allowed to work their craft.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's again, you're right on, Sam. You're right on with that. And it's outrage culture. I just avoid it. I just say, I told you so. This is what you signed up for. I'm happy in the Valley because I saw this coming. I'm not saying I saw this coming, but it's predictable. Did I plan for it? This is like no fun. Nobody's having fun.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for it.
Oh,
if
that's
you know what
true.
I'm saying.
Remember how social
life,
media
nobody's having fun.
used to have fun on social media? Now it's like a fucking.
But who
job.
ruined it? It
Yeah.
wasn't. It's not. I'm positive. I
No,
didn't
that's
ruin
what
it.
I was just gonna
They
say.
come at me. They come at Sam. We didn't ruin it. Others ruined it.
I did stop, and I don't know if it's
Tim?
me playing politics or not, but I stopped. I was like, you know what? I don't want to put out so much of the things that I hate on social media. I'd rather promote the things that I like because, if there's a band that you really love, nobody promotes them. Yeah. They always promote the people that they hate, like, oh, they suck, blah, blah, blah. Well, then they get the limelight and everybody finds out about them and they don't hear about the good band that you really like.
Comedy's like that. How many people who love the show go talk to the manager and tell them that they love the show?
Exactly.
It's only like you do a room full, like, comedy's gotten to the point where if you have a 400 people in the room and 3 people didn't like it, oh, there's a problem. No, dude, if you were a baseball player and you batted at that average, you'd be the greatest baseball player of all time. If you had 400 people and 3 of them didn't like it, even when they were talking about the bullshit with Amy Schumer, like she was doing a 12,000-seat theater. 200 people walk out. That's not that much.
No, not in comparison.
Just ignore it. That's why I got out of warm-up. It takes one doped-up paid audience member to go, this guy, I don't get it. Walk out and they hold that against you. I go, I'm busting my tail for your show. I'm here bringing energy, and you got a paid audience member who complained?
What?
Go ahead.
Them from
That's
Brody
what you're
other
in.
than your Crocs.
The best.
But it's that's what goes on.
Yeah.
It's the outrage. And I'm not saying it's like I'm happy. I think a lot of it's anti-Trump is bad. People are just tired of that.
I'm over it. And I don't like Trump, but I'm over it. I'm tired of hearing about it.
I'm over all these people being sore losers. If you think these people you've never met in your life, either of them on either side, are fucking respectable people, just think of all the people. You've been in Hollywood like me. We've been here a while. Think of all the people who make it to the very highest. Like how cutthroat psychotic are so many of them because you gotta be like
interesting.
that. You know?
So you can't be one of the talented people, control the talented people. You know what I mean? Basically.
But here's the thing. Here's the beauty of the internet is it's taking that away. I was talking to my friend Mike Catherwood. He goes, dude, I love your podcast. You can say whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. He goes, I was talking to Adam Carolla. I go, yeah, like, can you say whatever you want? He's like, no, I'm on a radio show. They won't let us say fucking shit. He goes, I was talking to Adam Carolla, and I'm like, Adam, why can you say whatever you want? And this is the best thing I've ever heard, and I totally use it all the time. He made his own pirate ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make your own pirate ship. Be the captain of your pirate ship.
You have to do that these days.
What are they going to take? Like, these people go nuts. What are they going to take from me?
But exactly what Jessica's saying about just be positive, and that's why I like Brody's
Easier
Twitter.
said than done.
Yeah, but that's why I like Brody's Twitter feed because it's always positive, just like Joey Diaz. I mean, he does his
Joey's
stuff,
great.
But every morning it's like go out and attack live cocksuckers, and I think people really do want to see that and want to
try to do that on
encouraged.
my Instagram a lot now.
I just like to put, good morning, positive push, something like that.
Of everything.
Just a
Some
little
crazy, some positive.
But I delete a lot of tweets. I get mad. I do a lot of reactionary tweets, subtweeting.
Sometimes
and
I do.
delete.
I deleted one yesterday.
I delete every day. I delete probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the time. I put up and go, no, I'm going to put that down. It's too negative.
Yeah.
Like
The club that I started at, I started managing that place, and the guy Brian Krall that owns it, he's the one that taught me that. So often, if somebody would put something online, and I would want to retaliate so bad, and I'd start to write something, and I'd say, "Okay, I'm about to send this." He would stop me. It's like, don't.
I like to
not
scorch
worth
the
it.
earth.
Yeah, you do.
I already
Yeah,
know
you
what my
do.
next special is going to be called. Gasoline.
But how do you feel? I mean, you're but Sam, you're a big basketball guy. You know, we have LeBron James here now, Lakers, and he's got that talk show out, and he's doing.
He's got a talk show?
The barbershop
He's
show.
got. This is how big LeBron James is. He has a show on HBO and Showtime.
Oh.
That's like being a blood and a Crip.
Yeah. Andy
is
owns
blue and
Blaze
red, isn't
Pizza,
it?
part owner. But here's the deal. It's like that was kind of made waves already yesterday, how he said he didn't trust white people or there was a lot of cursing. There's controversy. Maybe that's what they wanted. I'm just saying, like,
listen, dude,
you're going to get that all season.
It is all social engineering, and nobody wants to talk about it. And we'll get off this real quick.
Okay. Oh,
but LeBron James hasn't felt real world consequences since he was about 14 years old. He was a genetic super freak. The last time something honestly really bad happened to LeBron James was he was not allowed to play in his final year high school basketball tournament. Do you know why they didn't let him do that?
Why?
Because he was driving a Hummer around. They kicked him out of school because he was driving a brand new fucking Hummer.
In high school.
In high school. So, I mean, like, and then he put out that thing that someone sprayed the N-word on his house. It was never proven. What LeBron James does is he has to connect with inner city youth. So he has to play this game of like, oh, dude, LeBron James just can't get away from racism. I'm just like, it's how he sells sneakers and pizza. And that whole thing, when you see Snoop Dogg going, man, it really sucks in America. I'm more loved in other countries than I am at your home. Dude, you get paid to smoke weed. That's your job. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's true. You
Yep.
do have to look at it like, come on, dude.
But it's just like, dude, it's all bullshit. It's all elites trying to connect with these people and making everybody fight. This guy died by the dojo down the street. This guy died on a bike, on a motorcycle. Bam, bad accident. We were walking back from AC/DC, right? So we're walking from the Palladium towards La Brea, right, on Sunset. We're walking this way. Police tape's up. We're just walking over it. They're like, yeah, just go for it, right? So we're walking this way, me and Trevor, and these two black chicks are walking this way, coming towards us, right?
Trevor Noah?
No, just
Okay.
two black chicks.
Okay.
And we somewhat converge. We somewhat converge at one moment, past like two ships passing the night. The cops, because we're walking in a murder scene,
Right.
flashes the lights on all of us. The black chicks turn around and go, hey, motherfucker, get that light off me. Who the fuck are you, you perverted motherfuckers? And I just sat there going, never would I ever do that. And that's just social engineering. Tell them that they're going to, it's like, I get there's history, but that's bad fucking move.
I feel like
right there.
only in LA too. I don't feel like that goes down everywhere.
It's just engineering. You listen to all these
Yeah,
elites
but there's crazy white chicks that would do stuff like that too. Yeah.
I get that, but that's a weird moment right there.
Yeah.
When the cops flash, when somebody's dead, you're like, get that fucking. Would you ever say that to a cop?
No.
It's crazy.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
What do I know?
It's all social engineering. That's
And it's scary stuff, what Sam's going into. And I'm not,
here's what you could do.
But I don't say
take it personal. I
Yes,
just let
that's
it go.
the thing. People are taking everything too personal, and I've been really working on not taking shit personal anymore.
When you let it go and you
got-
realize it doesn't matter,
so
it's so
awesome.
fucking free.
Yeah.
It's just like.
But you'd let it go, but you say what you're saying, what you want, or you just brush it off?
I just say what I want. Dude, the blessing of this tinfoil hat is I get such weirdo fucking comments on my YouTube. And some of it is just brutal, but it happens so much, it's numbed me to it. So I just literally don't care anymore. It's the biggest blessing of my life. I just don't care.
And your tweets are reflecting that.
I don't.
In a positive way. I just don't want you to go too
I just want
overboard.
somebody.
But I'm right there
I
with
want
you.
somebody to be the crazy guy. I want to be the crazy guy who uses powers for good, not evil.
But Sam tapped into something. The whole
Yes,
tinfoil
yes.
podcast and all these things happening. It's very much in the news, and with the Rogan and the Alex Jones stuff, and people are talking about it. So I think Sam has tapped into that. He's in the dojo. He's seeing accidents on Sunset Boulevard. He's going to Texas. He's got his boots on the ground. I would
Yes, he
listen to a
does.
guy like Sam Tripoli.
Thank you, bro.
Vegas, Syracuse. Travels, gets it. So, Sam, keep pushing.
Final
Well,
thought.
there you go. Oh, yes.
Political correctness, and on to here, goes against everything I ever learned in recovery. Recovery has always taught me, if you look at all the things you have a problem with, the one common denominator tends to be you. Most people aren't thinking about. That's the beauty I learned in recovery. Nobody's thinking of me. I used to think there was a shadow group of people whose whole job it was in Hollywood to make sure my dreams didn't happen. And when I realized that the killer was inside, right? It's in my head. I'm making bad decisions. I'm not following the rules. I'm purposely trying to fucking be this troublemaker, and then I'm wondering why nothing's happening. So I know that if something's going wrong in my life, there's probably a very good chance it's everything to do with me. Mm-hmm. When I look at political correctness, it's like, this is happening because these people are doing this to me. I'm a victim of this. The big thing I learned, don't judge your insides by other people's outsides. That's all political correctness is. Look at them. They're living good. They won't let me live good. This town has become fucking a bunch of people born on third base crying about not being able to hit home runs. How many people get show after show after show and cry about how oppressed they are?
Right.
At some point, if you get this many shows, you can't cry about how hard your life is.
Well, here's the perfect example. Mark Maron got a million fucking chances. And when people are like, that motherfucker had a million chances, he went off, didn't cry about it, and did his own thing. And then it got huge because you can't take every little fucking rejection personally. And you're right. You do have to look in and you have to
It's you, man. It's
rely
your
on
decision
yourself.
making, how you act with people. You know, there's people who try to outrage their way to their dreams. They literally think they can outrage it by crying and bitching, and bitching, that they'll get these opportunities.
Yeah.
But the truth is when the rubber hits the road, either you got it or you don't. And if you're spending your whole time fucking crying and moaning, you're not working on your craft, it's not going to happen.
Well, I think we already hit on it before. You have to make, and you just said, you have to make your own path.
Yeah.
And that's the way comedy business and everything, show business is going, period.
And speaking of our own path.
But I just want to say that own path is not guaranteed.
hard.
It's not guaranteed. You can make your own
that's
path,
true.
and it's
Yeah,
like,
right,
well, I
yeah.
just petered out. I tried.
Yeah.
So let
I
me go
think
back
if you-
in,
yeah.
and you could
I
do
think there's
that.
a lot of money in the internet. It's like Rogan says, there's a lot of money out there. You just got to try to figure out how to get it. And if you put your time into really honing your brand, I think good things happen.
Well, there you go.
I try to hone my comedy, like just put comedy.
You got great comedy. You got great comedy. And
can only go
will
so
make a lot
far
of
with
money
it.
out of it, dude.
It's true that these days you could be the funniest person in the whole damn world, but if you don't play it right, you're going to fuck it up.
You
Yeah,
learn
that's
very
very
quickly.
true. Very true.
Either you're going to be fast-tracked or you're not. Okay? And if you're fast-tracked, you don't have to worry about any of it. Boom, you're right in there. You're selling. You're in. At some point, you're going to realize that's not going to be your path, and you have to make it happen for yourself. And it sounds awful, and you could have a pity party. But when you could build your own pirate ship, build your brand like this. Build your brand. Build your fucking internet following. Build your YouTube following. Your Instagram following. You can make. Everybody hates YouTube stars, but it's like, if you have talent, why don't you just do what they're doing, which is putting out stupid little videos here and there. And if you got the talents, you'll fucking shine. There's so much.
But maybe you don't.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't
yeah.
have the talent. Maybe you put the video up. It's funny to me. I'm funny stand up, and you get it just peters out on
That
YouTube.
happens too.
Right.
Maybe comedy
Yeah.
isn't your thing, but you know what? Then it wasn't
thanks.
going to be your thing.
And by the way-
your thing is great.
Well, I don't know.
But by the way, people that sometimes get fast-tracked, you've been around long enough, like you and Sam and Brody here, that you see that that's not always a great thing to get fast-tracked, because you can get fast-tracked and then fall off the track 5 years later, and then you're fucked.
Are we talking about Easy Pass? Is this like toll road 73?
All right. Well, anyway, let's get to the game part of our podcast. We ask our guests to come. They'll tell 2 stories. One will be a true story, and one will be a lie. And we'll rotate the stories around. Who wants to go first?
How clean do you want these
you can
stories?
do.
Is this
you
a
can
Christian
be,
podcast?
It is not.
No.
Other than Jesus Christ is our best friend, but it is not. You can say anything you want to.
All right. Whoever wants to go first can.
I think you should go first.
Okay. I, as a child, was a really good thief. I could steal anything. And what I learned very young is that I learned to be funny as a survival thing. But then I also used my brain and realized if I can get these guys that are bigger than me shit they want, they'll fuck up the dudes fucking with me, right? So I would steal high-end porno mags from the 7-Eleven. I would jack these like Cherries, Blacktail. There's only one black family in my hometown, so everybody loved black chicks, right? So I jacked these porno mags, And I would steal them, walk right out, and then I would go up to these guys and go, "Hey, man, you guys like porn? Yeah. Well, can you do this? And if you help me out, I just need this fucking dude won't leave me alone." And they would go fuck that dude up, and I would just, I was just a little mop guy, right? I was like, so I always learned the key to anything in life is to act like you've been there, and that comes in comedy too. Sometimes you just got to fake it till you make it. When you listen to Last Comic Standing, they're always like, "I just looking for confidence," right? Confidence. So one day, a long time ago, I get a call from a friend of mine, and he's like, "Hey, dude, Dennis Rodman is signing with the Lakers. Do you want to go down to Planet Hollywood, okay, and jump into this?" Go to this press conference. I'm like, fuck yeah, I love it. Fuck it, let's go. So we go down, and it's crazy, right? It's like at the peak of his popularity.
Is this when he was in a wedding dress?
This was just after that. And he's dating Carmen Electra at the time, and he's this tall. She's this. I don't know how that worked, but it did. So it's chaos there. So he gets out of the limo, and the place goes crazy, and he has this huge entourage, and they're walking through, and I noticed that the security's not checking anybody's credentials or anything. So I go to my friend, "Just act like you're supposed to be here." So we turn around and we start walking with his entourage, and it's like Dennis Rodman, and then me and my friend, and we walk upstairs. And he goes in, and I know that's the green room. I go, if we go in there, we're going to get busted. Let's go this way. So I turn the other way. I go through the curtains. I'm in front of all the microphones for the press conference. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. I'm like, okay, it's stage time, right? So I go, press conference is going to start in 5 minutes. It's going to be real quick. Let's not get too personal or anything, You guys know, Dennis. He's just here to have a good time. Let's get him in, get him out. Let's not make this a scene. And we walk off. Well, we walk to the back.
And you're a comedian at this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was working, I think I was working the door here, and I was working as a valet at the Standard. So we get a call. I get off stage. I walk in, and dude, I've never seen so much food in my life. It's like fucking rich people food. And I'm a fucking peasant at this moment. And we are just fucking eating, and we're shoving shrimps in our fucking jean shorts. Everyone's like, they're not supposed to be here, right? So the press conference started.
That's the giveaway when you shove food in your pockets. Yeah. Those people aren't here.
I don't care. Come get me, dude. I got shrimp, So then Dennis comes out, and he's and I'm watching the press conference. I'm like, I got to ask a question. So I realize that there's no order to this. It's whenever he stops talking, whoever talks the loudest, he answers. So it's almost like this moment of double Dutch, right? Where I'm like...
Right.
So you ended up from backstage, you went around to watch so that you could ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he takes the press. So I was on stage. I walked down. I'm hanging out with where all the reporters are.
Okay.
So the press conference starts. They're asking questions. And I go, Mr. Rodman, I want to say, if they said magazines, I would have said High Time, right? But nobody was saying magazines, so I didn't want. So I'm like, I go, Mr. Rodman, do you believe you're going to start for the Lakers? Elgin Baylor's been our starting power forward. His numbers have gone up every year he's been in the league. Do you think he's going to start? Do you think you're going to start? And he looks at me. He just stares at me. And all of a sudden his lip starts quivering, right? And he starts bawling.
You're telling me you made Dennis Rodman cry?
He starts bawling. He goes, do you think I'm going to start? Do I think I'm going to start? 5-time NBA player, blah, 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 defensive player. You think I'm going to fucking start? And he is fucking bawling. And I'm just like, oh. I'm high-fiving my friends. Everyone's like, dude, I
think I remember this happening, but you're saying that was you.
I'm saying that was me.
Wow.
So then the next day I get a call from everybody. Howard Stern's playing you right now. You can hear you on Howard Stern.
No way.
Yeah.
So what does stealing have to come into that story?
Well, it's all about acting like you're there.
Oh, okay.
Because when I'd steal the porno mags, I'd shove it out, and I'd literally walk up to counter guy, go, okay, later, and just walk right out.
Wow.
Jacking shit.
So that Dennis Rodman came to a roast battle one night here, and then they had to kick him out for heckling, and he left and didn't tip.
He's actually
well-
known as a great tipper. He's actually known as this humongous tipper.
He walked out on his bill here too.
Well, because you guys kicked him out.
Yeah, but he was being a douchebag.
And to Dennis Rodman,
Well, make
Dennis
him pay
Rodman being-
before you kick him out.
So that's my story.
Well, that's a strong opener.
That's a
I mean,
strong
I could
story.
definitely see you doing that for sure. But no one questioned when you went up on the stage, and no one said anything. No one in the venue was like, "Who is that guy?" Nothing. Yeah.
Dude, we were walking past the managers going, God, everywhere Dennis goes, it's crazy like this. It's a nuts house. Again, it's a nuts house. Dennis got it. Like, we were just...
Other reporters didn't want to know who you were because you made Dennis Rodman cry. They didn't want to know
No,
who's
because
the
I think
man
in those
that made-
situations they're all jockeying for position, or was it kind of like everyone standing around like a red carpet where everyone's like crawling over
it was
each
just
other?
like this conference room.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's
all
a good
right,
opener.
well,
No pressure. No pressure on Brody over here.
I mean, that's sneaking into places. And Sam, he said he was a thief, right?
I wasn't a thief. I used to appropriate shit.
Well, I would steal.
Oh, you would?
I would
Yeah.
steal. I would.
Were you a good
Bad Brody.
stealer? Were you good at it?
Yeah, I would trespass also.
Okay, so you would steal a lot.
Yeah, and I was just, but I'd like just do it for fun, and then return it, kind of thing. Like I remember I was in 6th grade, and I stole Matchbox cars from just to be with the cool kids,
Did your
Where
mother
did
ever
steal
catch
him
you?
from? I'm
Sorry.
like the CVS. I
CVS?
stole. Yeah, I stole, and then I used to steal from my mother. I stole quarters from my mother.
Oh yeah.
From her purse?
Yeah.
Oh, my son went through a phase where he was stealing from me and I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have to start putting my purse in my nightstand. And
Yeah.
he'd be trying to. Were you doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I was stealing for baseball cards and pizza bread. We would steal during the summer, and then I'd get accused of stealing too. I remember I was at Jake's Jug, which is in Tarzana, and the lady thought I was stealing because I had a reputation as a thief. And she
Really?
said, "What's in your pocket? You got candy in your pocket?"
I can't.
I go, "No, I don't." And I pulled out my pocket and I had an oatmeal cookie keychain.
How old were you at this point?
I was 25. No, no, I was in 6th grade, so I got. She tried to bust me there.
Well, can I ask what year this was?
This is like the 80s, like 82. I was going through some phases. I vandalized a dollhouse in Sacramento. I had
A dollhouse.
I had
What kind of dollhouse?
like a life-size dollhouse. I had impulse control issues.
Yeah.
I would.
That's what my son has, by the way.
Yeah, I walked on a roof naked in Sacramento. I vandalized a dollhouse. I got stuck in a swing set in Simi Valley. I crapped my pants in 1st grade at a private school in the San Fernando Valley. Awkward situations caused me to...
Crap your pants?
Well, I was a troubled kid, and I got sent away.
Where did you go?
I went to like a boarding school in the South Bay.
Oh.
Wow. What was it, like a military school or?
Yeah, it was like TAPS. It was like, yes, it was a lot of pledging to allegiance to the flag.
Right.
And, it's tough for me because I wasn't bar mitzvahed, but I was Jewish. So I was kind of lost. I was like, you know that movie Ghost? That's how I was. I was lost in between worlds of Judaism and Christianity. And I reacted.
So your story is just that you were a big thief when you were a kid, or is there an ultimate time that you stole something that...
Well, I was just setting up the. No, I was a troublemaker. People think that Brody's a good guy. I talk about
I feel
it.
like you're trying to look tough, and it's so cute.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's what my preschool teachers would say. They would say, "Stephen, you can't get mad at him. He's too friendly. He's too smiley." So it was hard for me, but I rebelled. The vandalizing of the dollhouse.
How How did you vandalize it? What exactly did you do to the dollhouse?
I think you could relate to this, Felicia, because you have kids. I've seen your kids.
Okay.
I broke windows. I threw rocks. I remember there was a football player for the Denver Broncos. His sister lived in our apartment building, and I vandalized his car. Remember that? He was African American. Remember that movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High? They vandalized the guy's car, Forrest Whitaker. There you go. The guy I vandalized a car in Tarzana. His name was Rick Peros. He played for Utah State, the Aggies, and his sister was Sarah. And I remember because I probably should have been on medication, and I lashed out. So these behaviors, it was too much for my mom, and they sent me off. I'd go to summer camp.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
And then in summer camp, I got in trouble there too.
What'd you do in summer camp, dude?
I masturbated in front of a couple girls.
Are you serious?
How
Did
old
you
were you?
really?
I was 13.
Are you serious?
We do that. We've done
I told you I had impulse control issues.
Did they run away?
They complained.
Hold on. Did they critique it at all? Did they hey, dude, great style, but we got to complain?
Yeah, I mean, word got out. But you see what I'm saying? I'm a nice guy. Girls took advantage of me. And they twisted it on me.
Why is that?
Why did Louis C.K. steal your shit?
There you go. He's probably confused also. He's Mexican and Jewish. He's got confusion.
Yeah.
I've got confusion.
Yeah.
I'm Jewish, but raised in an Aryan world. It's
Okay.
difficult. But the deal was, I got busted, and I remember I got sent home. My mom was upset.
And that was in an era before you could really talk openly about your son having a masturbation problem, right?
It was weird. I mean,
No, seriously.
Those
She
are
must
the
have been
dark
freaking-
days where you couldn't
I
just
know.
openly tell your friends that your son likes to jerk off in front of people.
But he's jerking off in front of people. He's
In
vandalizing
1982,
dollhouses. He's vandalizing NFL football players' cars.
Uh-huh.
He's throwing rocks. He threw a rock on the freeway. I did that. No, I threw a
wow.
baseball on a freeway.
Wow.
You could have killed somebody.
I was lashing out, Jessica. People think I'm a nice guy. You want real? You're getting it.
Wow. Well, there you
So-
go. Two strong openers.
And I'll tell you what, I tried to get into an elite sports camp, and I couldn't do it because I had
But
a
you
record.
did play baseball.
Yeah.
And you played
I went to college.
professionally, didn't
no,
you?
I could have played professionally if I really pursued it, but I hurt my arm. No, I had a record. I couldn't go to
Baseball camp?
Yeah, there was an elite baseball camp. They researched that stuff. I had a record for what I did. I was like a juvenile delinquent. So a lot of that stuff happened. And
Did you
then
end up on probation or anything?
I don't know if it was probation, but it was on my record. So I couldn't get certain kind of scholarships. I tried to go into continuation school.
Yeah, but what kind of record? Like a mental illness record or like a
Sexual, mischievous.
record?
I don't know about that. Wait, I got to take that back.
I wish people could
Can
have
I
seen
not?
the look on your face.
Maybe I went too far with that one. I mean, but don't all kids do that?
Yes, dude.
They do, right?
Yeah,
You vandalized a dollhouse?
I used to do all sorts of crazy shit.
You
I was
masturbated in front
sexually
of-
active in first grade.
Oh, really?
Wow. That's a different.
I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing.
That's like reverse pedophilia.
Yeah, I was.
You were the aggressor.
No, actually, it was the Gleason sisters down the street.
Jackie?
No, Teresa and Sarah.
That happened to me too. You want to get into it? You talked about Sam.
Now, is this a
talked
part of your
about
story?
How girls. Yeah, but it goes full circle. This kind of abuse. You know, Sam talks about getting, what do they call it, six-pack? I had two girls when I grew up in Tarzana took advantage of me and brought out scissors.
Oh,
Shit.
If you want to play that game.
that's where your hair went?
Oh.
Mean, rude.
Sorry.
Rude.
But-
I was about to do the same thing.
Well, those are two good stories. I'm
Can
going to move.
I say why all of a sudden, like in the last few years, people are like doing like losing hair jokes? Like I've had the same hair for 10
Brody,
years,
you're
but
doing
only
great.
the last couple
We're all
of years.
comedians here. It's all
I
good.
know
Yeah.
that, but
You
I'm
have a nice head, though.
I
You have
know
to
You
that.
got a great head. You could have
Yeah.
a weird head.
I'm
You
not
got a great head.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it's a little odd to me that it's things like repeat. Like I've already grown out of it. Now I have like new comedy people. I got to go. Yes, I got to do that. Yeah, that's why I tell them I'm in the Hangover. It's like leave me alone.
Just because it's easy.
I know. Well, I take the hard route. I mean,
You do.
That's the way I go.
Right.
All right, well,
do.
there you go. So we had two good, strong opening stories. The fact that, I'm just trying to keep it organized. The fact that Brody was a juvenile delinquent, that is
Yeah.
your complete story. And that Sam made Dennis Rodman cry during a press conference. Okay,
Yeah, these are
Sam.
two bold stories.
Two bold openings, by the way. So, Sam, what is your second story?
Okay. When we were kids, we used to go see concerts at Binghamton, Broome County Arena, and Guns N' Roses were going to play there. So I was very excited, and my friend's like, "I got acid. You want to do acid?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Let's do some acid." And so we got my buddy Tony's parents would drive us up there, and we would drive up to Broome County Arena in Binghamton, which he had family members up there that were like these really high-end caterers. So we go eat like super fat food, and then we go to this like
Both stories have great caterers involved.
they do.
Okay.
Now Guns N' Roses, like when they were at their heyday, it was like chaos.
Yeah, I
It
love
was
Guns
like
N' Roses.
chaos, and it wasn't quite the Dead, but it was like they're just a traveling circus with them, and we were just like, oh, fuck, let's go do this. We were still in high school, so we decided to do acid. Tony got some acid, because they didn't have like, I don't know, did we do shrooms? No, we did shrooms. We did acid. So we get up there. He gives me the acid to hold on to the acid because I thought it's because he thought I was responsible, but I realized because if we got busted, I'd be the ones with drugs on me. So we're hanging out. I take some acid. We all take acid. We have a lot of hits of acid. Mm-hmm. And we start taking the acid, and I can't feel anything, so I just keep taking the acid. I just keep taking the acid, and I take the acid.
How many hits do you think you took?
Probably about 4.
Jesus.
So I take the acid, right? And
So you had never done acid before?
never done acid. The first time I'd smoke weed, they told me it was oregano, and I'd smoked weed, and I'm like, it's really weed. I'm like, no!
So you chose, I will definitely smoke oregano.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, it's weed. Then I'm like, dude, let's do acid. We're like, fuck yeah, let's do acid. So we did acid and walk around. And then one time I turn around and they're tripping balls and they're gone. I can't find them. And then it just starts fucking hitting, right? It just starts fucking hitting. And I'm so fucking high, right? I am tripping balls. I don't know where I am. I'm just walking around this parking lot looking for people. And I just grab this guy just because I was so lost. And he turns around and he just punches me as hard as he can right in my face. I thought I was dead. I literally was on acid. I thought I was dead.
I do believe you've probably been punched a few times in your life.
I have, totally.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a leveled person, because I know that if I talk shit, I could get punched in the face.
Yes, Right. yeah.
The assholes are the ones who've never been punched in the face, right? So I think I'm dead. I'm in acid. I'm fucking dead. I'm going around. I can't find myself. I find this guy, and I'm like, dude, can you help me come back to life? Right? I start talking about coming back to life. He's like, fuck yeah, come with me. We get on a bus.
What?
We get on a bus. He brings me, I'm tripping balls. I'm like 16, 17 years, tripping balls. We get on a bus, right? I don't realize at this time, but this guy is flaming gay. Mm-hmm. And he's basically bringing me back to his place to get fucking weird. And I'm okay with that at that moment because I think I have to suck his dick to come back to life.
I have had that thought many a time.
Right? You're like, if I don't, it's the only way I'm going to come back to life.
Okay.
So, but the drive is so much. It's back to almost to Syracuse, the bus ride. And by the time we get there, I am fucking not as high as I used to be.
Uh-huh.
And this guy's like, come on. And then I fucking end up pushing him and I run and I never got to see the fucking band.
You assaulted him?
Yeah.
How did you get home?
Got a problem with that.
I was crying. I begged somebody for money and I found a payphone and called my mom to come get me.
Okay. Back then they did have payphones.
Shut up, Jessica. Jessica.
Who was the opening band supposed to be?
Guns N' Roses. I think it was
Soundgarden. Was that
no,
the
it wasn't
concert?
Soundgarden. Who the I don't know. I fucking did acid. I know I was going to see Guns N' Roses, and I'm so fucking high, I never got to see you open. I went to see fucking Alice in Chains last night. I don't know who the fuck opened.
You
for that.
did?
It was so good.
Where'd you see him?
Palladium.
Last night?
Started slow, and then they started dropping hammer. And you're
Wow.
like, oh. And then I saw fucking Wood, and then they did Rooster, which were bucket list shit.
Uh-huh.
And the place, then one of the guys from the Doors came out and played Rooster.
Val
Fucking-
Kilmer?
No.
I didn't know about this concert. Was it a secret show?
No, it was sold out the Palladium. It was advertised on fucking whatever
Nobody
Heidi
told me.
Frosty and Frank is on.
Nobody told me.
It's on a giant billboard when you pass it.
Brody.
Alice in Chains, Lane Staley, the lead
Yeah, who was
singer.
the singer? And
It was this guy
It's a
looked like
black
Lenny
guy.
Kravitz, and he
Oh,
crushed.
really? Oh,
But
nice.
again, it's like, God bless all bands that have been around for a while, and they always put out these albums, and they're like, and this is a song from our new album, and so it's like, go smoke cigarettes right now, because we're gonna do like 5 songs that you don't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
Like I once saw Guns N' Roses at Dodger Stadium, and dude, towards the end, Cooking with Gas. All of Appetite for Destruction. Then they throw a Chinese Democracy song,
Wow.
like second to last. Sounds like a horrible Linkin Park song, and it just killed the energy, dude. Dude, Guns N' Roses never has to write another album again in their
No,
life.
they don't.
Just play Appetite for Destruction and Choose Your Illusion 1, Choose Your Illusion 2, and we'll be fucking happy.
Yeah, I saw the Police at Dodger Stadium.
It's
with,
a great
with the
place.
Foo Fighters. Yeah, I brought my
saw
baseball
AC/DC.
glove. I caught Dave Grohl's guitar pick.
Perfect.
My baseball glove.
There you go. There you go. So what's your second story, Brody?
Well, I come from, again, a checkered past. I used to sneak on to the Warner Brothers lot. We snuck on to the Universal Studios lot. We snuck on just setting up, the little background. We snuck on Warner Brothers lot. They're filming Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. We remember that movie with Sylvester Stallone? So we got busted, and they took our photos, and I haven't been able to go back there since. That was back in, 82 also. And
So, your picture's hanging up somewhere? Don't let this guy in?
Yeah.
But you as a kid?
Yeah, that's why I
they're
couldn't
like,
look.
that happens because my son got booted out of Universal, the place where all the restaurants are. And
City Walk.
Yeah, City Walk.
Well,
He got kicked out of.
Well, in Arizona, you get a license. It's yours for 50 years.
What?
Yeah, John McCain's had the same license.
Yeah.
I just threw it in. He's in the
That's
news.
great.
He's old.
Topical.
And I'm from Arizona. I went to school there. I love baseball. And again, I would sneak into places. This one was playing. Because it was hard to find a field. And my friend and I, we went up. There's a golf course up in the. He lived up in the hills, and we felt like, if we go play on this golf course, it'll be high altitude. We could really hit the ball far. But it was just up the hill. It wasn't like a mountain. It was just up
Here
at
in
the,
L.A.
Yeah, up at the
is
top.
Is it the one on top of when you go in off Laurel Canyon up in there?
But more off Reseda. This was Braemar Country Club. So we drove up there. It's maybe 500-foot elevation from Ventura Boulevard. But we always felt like it would be cool to play baseball high above the San Fernando Valley, and that we could really hit the ball far. So we were on the golf course, hitting balls in between them playing, hitting balls, and then we said let's go on the green and start hitting grounders. So I had a fungo bat. And we went on this green, Braemar Country Club, and it was, it's a high-end private course. And
That's where they filmed Caddyshack, correct?
At I don't think they filmed it there, but I think they did not film
showed
it there.
the movie there, though.
They may have screened it there in the lounge.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
But we were. We brought the fungo bat out.
Oh, I like
and
it.
then I hitting grounders on this really super nice putting green, like part of like the ninth hole. And then I start hitting these choppers, like really like just because the grass was such nice. It was like AstroTurf. And then the
Bill Murray.
I got really mad.
not the sheriff, the groundskeeper. Not the groundskeeper, security guy, the warden, whatever they're called, the sheriff, the guy who watches the course.
Or the booze chick that drives around on her cart with her big cheese. Hey, boys, who wants some fucking liquor?
Starts coming after us, like, what are you guys doing? We panic. We start running, get the glove, run to the car, get into the car at a Pinto. And I was like low end Pinto stick shift. And I went to start the car. And then the guy comes up to the car, and he's holding the keys, and he's dangling the keys. You forgot the keys. So we were busted. So he makes us go with him back to the Braemar clubhouse, and he said, this is a $150,000 green.
Oh, I bet, right?
You're screwed. Your life is over. And then our friend's dad.
Your life is over.
Over a green, yeah. Then our friend's dad came to get us, and he knew somebody that was with the Atlanta Braves, and the groundskeeper knew somebody with the Atlanta Braves. Like they had a common person that in commonality, and we were able like to get out of it just because our friend's dad knew another's groundskeeper. But it was.
But the security guy is the guy who came and got you. Did he have a gun on him? Or was he like that kind of security guy? No, why didn't you guys, if you're teenage boys, because my son skateboards, and he's always getting in trouble with security guards, and they aren't smooth about it.
Yeah, he might have had some. He was just like the course. I forget what they're called. Not the sheriff, not the warden. The course. They watched the course, and we messed it up. We vandalized. Again, I vandalized a
how
golf.
bad did you vandalize the course? Like how many?
They had to cancel it.
Like a shit on the greens or something?
This was worse. Oh. I mean, they had to cancel the tournament. It was at Tiger Woods.
Oh, really?
God.
Yeah, they had to move it to Pebble Beach. It was that bad. No, but we we thrashed it pretty good. Like that's one of our memories is like we weren't just taking ground balls. I was hitting choppers because the grass was so smooth. We were freaked out by this smooth grass, and we really tore it up.
You were mesmerized by it.
So I think a lot of
kids of the streets.
Yeah, I think a lot of my childhood tales.
This is your own fresh air program. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, I was a troubled kid. I needed.
What was your street name? I had a street name because I was a break dancer. Wacky Fruit Bubblegum. How bad is that street name?
Are you serious?
Wacky Fruit Bubblegum?
I'm the whitest. I used to break dance with a mullet.
You did?
Yeah.
We were just more like BMX bikes. We were but we got into trouble. We got into mischief. Like I said, I could relate with Felicia's kids because I know they're like my age, and the skateboarders went after
her kids
me.
Were your age?
Hey, can I hang out with them? Do you mind?
Sure. Go ahead.
See, now I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, you were in some sexual deviant
I
program.
just did that because,
Okay. Hey,
you know what?
This is a safe place.
At least I'm being open about
it. It's a safe place.
Right.
This is a safe place. Nobody judges.
Well, those were 4 very good stories. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go around. And Jessica, do you have any questions you want to ask anyone?
This is really tough.
We'll start with Sam's stories.
Sam, you think that I don't think that you made Dennis Rodman cry.
Okay.
I think that you definitely went to see Guns N' Roses several times, and you've done acid, and I think you've been punched. All that's kind of checking the boxes for me. But the Dennis Rodman thing, no. I think that did happen because I feel like I saw that in the news, him crying on TV, but that you did it, no.
Are we allowed to chime in on this?
Yes, of course you are.
You mean you don't think he triggered the crying?
Right.
I don't know.
I think Sam's triggered a lot of crying in his lifetime.
That's what I do. It's called Chicks in the Audience in Tampa.
But I have done my fair share of acid when I was a young lady, and I'm stuck on the. You thought you had to suck this guy's dick to get out of death, to save your life.
When you're on acid.
I know, but I don't know if, because when I was on acid and then I went to go see The Who in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado. And so did the acid, and then that night we went to a hotel room this guy I was with, and I literally thought he was a devil, and I was trying to run out of the hotel room. So I was the opposite. So I'm going to say your first story is true, because I know when Dice Clay, when he first started out, he used to jump up on before a movie would start and do his set in front of the audience. So I could totally see a comic jumping up in front of a microphone and just, making his friend laugh and doing that.
I do that too at the ArcLight.
So you think, which one do you think is true?
So I think the first story is true about the Dennis Rodman, and I think the second story is part of it's true, but I don't think that you were on a bus to Syracuse to suck a guy's dick to save your life. That just feels so wrong to say.
I for the love of God, want the first one to be true, just because I think that's an awesome story.
Yeah,
but
it is a good story.
I feel like it's so far fetched. I want it
Dennis
to.
Rodman one?
Yeah, but the Guns N' Roses seems a little. It just seems more plausible.
Right, and he might be trying to trick us.
Right. 100%.
But I'm with you. I think it's more plausible.
But I so want it to be. I so want the first one to be true because
Yeah,
it's
that
just
would
an
be
insane
awesome.
story. But I think that the second one's more plausible.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, what's the truth?
The Dennis Rodman story is 100% true.
Yes.
He's trying to trick us.
And full disclosure, I took part of my life and I took a little bit of this David Deary story he's told on my podcast.
Okay.
And if he ever comes on, let him tell because he tells it much better and it's so fucking funny. But so, yeah, the first story, I did sneak in. I did make Dennis Rodman cry. And I later on, they played in Howard Stern. Then later on, my girlfriend sent in my radio demo that she heard there was Who Wants to Be the Next Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. She sent in my radio demo. And he picked me and my friend Nodder to go. So they flew us out to do the show. We met with him. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell him I told him, I think I was on your show before. He goes, you think? He goes, yeah, you played a clip of Dennis Rodman crying at his Laker press conference. I'm the guy that made him cry. He's like, no way. And they played the whole thing. And yeah, so that was me.
Wow. Good one.
That's impressive.
That
That's
is
very impressive.
Wow. Two good stories.
Yeah, that's amazing that's true. Wow.
And the Guns N' Roses didn't happen?
No, that didn't happen. I didn't see Guns N' Roses till Dodger Stadium.
Oh.
But we used to go, we did acid and saw Lollapalooza 1 or 2, whichever one, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it would rain and they had fire coming out of their head. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with my life? It was great.
That was season 2, Lollapalooza.
It was the best concert I've ever seen.
Ice Cube was there.
Ice Cube.
Pearl Jam.
Soundgarden.
Jesus and Mary Chain.
Yeah,
Jesus
and then
Lizard.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep. That was Soundgarden. They rocked it. I saw them in Phoenix.
You turn around and hit me with a hand all broken arrow. Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's Rusty Cage.
If there's any episode that proves we need video, it's this one.
I know.
Pearl Jam would go up second. We saw him in Arizona. Eddie Vedder was like 110 degrees, and he's wearing a leather jacket, climbing around.
You used to do that climbing shit.
Yeah.
Great athlete.
All right, and what about Brody? Do you have any questions you want to ask Brody, Jessica?
Brody, you're a nut. You were all over the place with that first story. You said you were a bad liar. Again, I feel like you might be trying to trick us. Like, I thought that was a trick. But when I boil it down, I don't think that you masturbated in front of these girls.
Oh, is that the part of the story we're going to
Wasn't
judge?
that like,
okay.
it was like,
Because I was all
Was that the climax?
Brody Stevens
That was
version
literally
of
the
I Am
climax.
a Killer, where we just got all of his early years and led him to be the fucking slayer on
the
stage.
sport thing, that's totally you. Absolutely. The baseball, because I hear you spit all the baseball stuff here all the time.
So the baseball, the baseball story
Is real.
true.
You think that's real?
with the golf course,
And
yeah.
you think me getting in
Masturbate.
trouble, being a delinquent, actually...
You might have been a delinquent, sure, but I think you were doing things like the golf course thing, not masturbating in front of girls.
Look, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. No, I did not masturbate in front of girls like that.
But you were supposed to wait for them
We're
to
supposed
say.
to let us ask questions.
Oh,
All right, so I'm going to go with the first one's false.
I'm sorry.
To me, it was a little bit confusing because to me, the first story is all about you're a really bad kid, but then you kind of spiraled off in different things. But the truth be told, the baseball and at the golf club, yeah, that's you being a bad kid. So I'm going to believe both stories. But you didn't masturbate in front of the three girls.
I masturbated on the golf course.
No, you did. Did you really?
Well, who doesn't? That's like
Master thespian right here.
No, I didn't get in trouble for masturbating. But that's the lying part. It's hard to lie. But
everything about the first party, whatever the stories that you did at the beginning.
Yeah,
I would have been more believable if you wouldn't have went to the masturbation.
I didn't know where to go. I'm not a good liar. It's like I'm like Abe Lincoln. I don't lie.
It's weird because I could totally see you jerking off in front of people at
at
an early age.
Yeah, and especially when you said you couldn't go to a certain camp.
Brody.
Well, that's why I tried to say I was in
record.
trouble. I tried to I tried to lie and make stuff up. Again, I don't lie.
You're not lying. You didn't lie here.
You lied
When
today.
I thought we were supposed to tell like a time that we lied.
No, it's all good.
Like,
It's all good.
I have this fear that I'm
going
to be framed for murder. I've had it my whole life.
That's Garza does a whole bit on that. You should listen to it.
Who?
Garza.
I think I'm gonna be framed for murder, and
That's your biggest fear?
That's a huge. No,
really?
I'm afraid of the mafia, sharks, and alligators. Those scare me.
Wow.
One of these things is not like the other.
Now, I always have since I was a kid. I can't even kill bugs. I lift cockroaches and throw them outside.
What?
Yeah, I can't kill cockroaches.
Really?
Yeah.
You seem like such a badass.
I value all life.
You
I
made
don't-
Dennis
kill a roach.
Rodman cry, right? That's exactly right. And you can't kill a cockroach?
I can't. I lift it up and I throw it out on paper.
Yeah.
I just can't kill stuff.
I don't kill bugs. I try not to.
Especially spiders, as long as they're not black widows.
Spiders are cool. They kill other things.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun podcast. Thank you guys so much for
Just
joining
me yelling
us.
at you guys?
No, thank you so much. Yeah, we
This was
appreciate that you
definitely
took your
different
time
than
out.
all the rest.
Do you want to tell our podcast audience, which is very minimal, where they can follow you? Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, where can we follow that? Where can they follow you?
I am at Sam Tripoli on all social media, Tripoli, Punch Drunk Sports, if you like sports, a little bit of sports and a whole lot of just screaming at each other. Then I got Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli. That's a great show. And my YouTube is youtube.com Sam Tripoli. And just started uploading to a new website called BitChute. So if you want to check it out. BitChute? It's like it's supposed to be the new YouTube without the censorship. So.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And I would tell you, ladies and gentlemen, to definitely film your shit.
We do whenever it's in. We
Yeah,
just
when we're
started in the
downstairs.
podcast
Yeah,
room.
I mean, like I get a lot of views now on my YouTube for my
Yeah.
thing, and it just adds to the numbers that you can. That when you get sponsors, you can add that to your
Right.
sponsors numbers.
Well, starting this podcast has been a great thing for us because we used to sneak up in the belly room and then we finally got downstairs. So we're doing it today in the main room because of to accommodate your guys' schedule, and we certainly do appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Where can people
Thank you,
follow
Brody,
you,
for your
Brody?
honesty.
Brody.
You got it. You could find me on social media platforms. Brody is me friend. Based off Brody, you good guy, you me friend. My bus boys in New York, Tony and Mr. Lee.
Shout out, Mr. Lee.
I would say probably the late Mr. Lee. He was 75. Well, you could be.
Dude, Asians live forever.
You're right. I take
There's
that
one
back.
that was supposedly lived to 280.
I take that back.
Such a
Mr.
great
Lee's still
stereotype.
kicking it.
But Mr. Lee was a great guy. Tony, he was Albanian. He was. I learned a lot living in New York City. So you could find me at Brody is me friend on Twitter, Instagram, all things comedy. I do a podcast over there, sports and fellowship, and you can find me bumping around.
All right.
Enjoy it.
Great. And Andrew, our wonderful producer, is there anything you would
Andrew
like to add?
hustles.
Andrew's a hustler, man.
Andrew Rose on all social media. Apparently that's all I got. No, one Andrew Rose on all social media. Please write, review, comment, all the fun stuff. If you enjoyed the podcast, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, the Liars Club 1@gmail.com. And also, Tripoli is there all the time. But if you live in LA, come and support the Dojo of Comedy over on Sunset and Sycamore.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
The
so
Comedy
different.
Dojo or the Dojo of
Well,
Com?
we've got business
I like
cards
Comedy
coming in
Dojo.
on Friday, so it's
I like Comedy
fucking-
Dojo.
I like because I want to be known as
There you go.
Yeah, it's the dojo, but of comedy.
We've learned so much today.
Yeah, it's, by the way, a great place to go see comedy, and there are fun shows there. And my name is Felicia Michaels. You can follow me across the board at Felicia Michaels.
I'm Jessica Wellington. Follow me at Jess Wellington 2 on everything. And you've been lied to.